Hello, StatScope. All right, folks, get ready because today we're about to embark on one of the most jaw-dropping virtual road trips you've ever been on. We're talking mountains so grand they seem to brush the clouds, beaches where the water is so blue it almost hurts your eyes, and landscapes that make you question if you've accidentally wandered into a painting. We're ranking the top 10 most beautiful states in America, and let me tell you, narrowing this list down, not easy. But hey, someone's got to do it. Let's hit the road.
All horse off safe. Guns, guns, guns. Guns, guns, guns.
Starting us off is Oregon, a state where Mother Nature clearly decided to show off. I mean, have you ever seen the Columbia River Gorge? It's not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine standing at the base of a roaring waterfall, the mist spraying in your face, while towering moss-covered cliffs rise all around you like ancient sentinels, guarding the secret of Oregon's wilderness. Now let's talk about Crater Lake, the deepest lake in the US, born from the collapse of a volcano thousands of years ago. The water here is so blue it's like someone turned up the saturation in real life. And if you're into coastal beauty, head over to Cannon Beach. Picture this. You're walking along the sand, the wind in your hair, haystack rock looming like a giant from a fairy tale, and a sunset so vibrant it feels like the sky's been set on fire. Oregon's got that magic. But here's the thing about Oregon. It's not just pretty. There's something about the air here, the way it feels when you step outside and take a deep breath, like you're inhaling pure, unfiltered nature. I remember the first time I stood in front of Multnomah Falls, the tallest waterfall in the state, feeling like a tiny speck in this vast, natural masterpiece. If you've never felt insignificant in the best possible way, Oregon's waiting for you. Big sky, endless horizons, and that unmistakable feeling of being on the edge of something wild. Welcome to Montana. There's a reason they call it Big Sky Country. The sky doesn't just sit above you, it feels like it wraps around you, stretching endlessly in every direction. And when you're standing in the middle of Glacier National Park, surrounded by towering mountains and glacial lakes, so pristine they reflect the world around them like a mirror, you realize just how big and breathtaking the world can be. One of my most vivid memories of Montana is driving through those wide open spaces, the kind where you don't see another soul for miles, just you, the road, and the kind of quiet that settles into your bones. But it's the wildlife that gets you too. One minute you're marveling at the peaks, and the next you're frozen as a massive herd of elk crosses the road in front of you. In Montana, nature doesn't just exist, it's alive, pulsing, and it lets you know you're in its territory. You probably saw this one coming, right? Hawaii is like stepping into a dream, a place where reality feels too beautiful to be true. Whether you're catching waves on Oahu's North Shore, hiking through lush rainforests, or standing at the edge of a volcano on the Big Island, Hawaii just has a way of making you feel like you've left planet Earth and landed somewhere, well, magical. I'll never forget my first trip to Hanauma Bay. It's one of those places that makes you question if you've accidentally stumbled into an aquarium, only it's real life and you're right there, surrounded by bright, colorful fish darting between coral reefs. And then there are the sunsets. I'm talking about the kind of sunsets that stop you in your tracks, where the sky seems to catch fire in shades of orange, pink, and purple. If there's one thing Hawaii does better than anywhere else, it's making every moment feel like a scene from a movie. But beyond the obvious beauty, Hawaii has this spiritual energy, this connection between land, sea, and sky that you can feel in your bones. You don't just visit Hawaii, you experience it, you breathe it in, and when you leave, a part of you always stays behind, lingering with the waves that keep crashing against its shores. If you're the kind of person who looks at mountains and thinks, I could climb that, then Colorado is your new best friend. With the Rocky Mountains dominating the horizon, this state practically begs you to lace up your hiking boots and get outside. And even if you're not much of a hiker, let me tell you, there's nothing quite like waking up to the sight of snow-capped peaks bathed in the soft light of sunrise. There's something almost otherworldly about Maroon Bells. These two mountain peaks rise so perfectly out of the surrounding wilderness that they look like a painting, reflected in the calm waters below. And trust me, whether you're there in the summer when wildflowers carpet the ground, or in the winter when the snow is so thick it muffles every sound, the effect is the same. It takes your breath away. Oh, and if you're a fan of adrenaline-fueled winter sports, the slopes of Aspen and Vail are calling your name. But be warned, once you ski in Colorado, no other place will ever compare. It's like discovering the best pizza you've ever had and realizing all other pizza is just okay. Colorado spoils you. Alaska is the last frontier, the kind of place that makes you feel like an explorer even if all you're exploring is the local wildlife from the comfort of your car. There's a rawness here, a sense that nature is in charge and you're just lucky enough to witness it. The landscapes are so vast and untouched, it's like stepping back in time to a world before humans started messing with things. Denali National Park is the crown jewel of Alaska's wilderness, with sweeping valleys, towering mountains, and glaciers that creak and groan as they shift. I remember kayaking near a glacier once, just me, the sound of my paddle in the water, and the occasional thunderous crack as a chunk of ice broke off and splashed into the ocean. It was humbling in the best way possible, a reminder that nature is both beautiful and terrifying, but it's not just the mountains and glaciers that make Alaska special. It's the wildlife. Bears, moose, eagles. They're not just part of the scenery here, they're the stars of the show. And if you've ever wanted to feel truly insignificant, in a good way, there's nothing like standing beneath the vast, starry sky of the Alaskan wilderness, where the northern lights dance in brilliant hues of green and purple overhead. California is like the overachiever of states. It's got beaches, mountains, deserts, forests, basically every kind of landscape you could possibly dream of. You want to surf in the morning and ski in the afternoon? Go right ahead. In California, anything's possible. But let's get real for a second. As much as the beaches of Malibu and the glam of Los Angeles are iconic, it's the quieter, more unexpected places that really steal your heart. Places like Big Sur, where the cliffs drop dramatically into the Pacific Ocean, and the winding roads make you feel like you're driving on the edge of the world. Or Yosemite National Park, where ancient sequoias tower above you, and waterfalls cascade down granite cliffs with a roar that echoes through the valley. I still remember the first time I stood at the base of El Capitan, craning my neck to look up at this sheer wall of rock. It's one of those moments where you realize just how small you are in the grand scheme of things, and that's okay. In California, nature is bigger, bolder, and more breathtaking than anything we can ever hope to create. If you're a fan of red rock landscapes that look like they belong on another planet, Utah is your dream come true. I mean, Zion National Park alone could take this spot on the list. But then you've got Arches, Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands. The list goes on. Utah's got this unique, almost surreal beauty that makes you feel like you've stepped onto the set of a sci-fi movie. If you enjoy this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, let us know in the comments which state is your favorite. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. One of the most unforgettable experiences I've had in Utah was hiking through the Narrows in Zion. Picture this. You're wading through a river, towering cliffs rising on either side of you, the sky just a narrow sliver of blue overhead. There's something almost primal about it, like you're walking through the Earth's secret corridors, and then there's Monument Valley with its iconic sandstone formations that rise up from the desert floor like the remnants of some ancient, forgotten civilization. If you've ever watched a Western movie, you've probably seen this place, but nothing compares to standing there in person, the wind whipping across the desert, the sun setting in a blaze of color behind the buttes. Washington State is the kind of place that takes your expectations, cranks them up a notch, and then shatters them completely. You've got Mount Rainier towering over the landscape like some snow-capped king watching over his domain. And then you've got Olympic National Park, where you can find everything from misty rainforests to rugged coastline, often within just a few miles of each other. One of the most magical places in Washington has to be Hoh Rainforest. Yes, you heard that right. Rainforest. It's this lush green world where moss drips from the trees like something out of a fantasy novel, and the air is so fresh it practically tingles in your lungs. I once stood there, surrounded by the sound of trickling streams and the occasional bird call, and it felt like I had stepped into a completely different world. And if you're more of a city person, Seattle's got you covered too. There's something about sipping coffee at Pike Place Market, with the smell of fresh fish and baked goods in the air, while Mount Rainier looms in the distance. That just makes you fall in love with the place. Washington's got that perfect balance of rugged wilderness and vibrant city life. And honestly, what more could you ask for? Washington State is the kind of place that takes your expectations, cranks them up a notch, and then shatters them completely. You've got Mount Rainier, towering over the landscape like some snow-capped king watching over his domain. And then you've got Olympic National Park, where you can find everything from misty rainforests to rugged coastline, often within just a few miles of each other. One of the most magical places in Washington has to be Hoh Rainforest. Yes, you heard that right. Rainforest. It's this lush green world where moss drips from the trees like something out of a fantasy novel, and the air is so fresh it practically tingles in your lungs. I once stood there, surrounded by the sound of trickling streams and the occasional bird call, and it felt like I'd stepped into a completely different world. And if you're more of a city person, Seattle's got you covered too. There's something about sipping coffee at Pike Place Market, with the smell of fresh fish and baked goods in the air while Mount Rainier looms in the distance, that just makes you fall in love with the place. Washington's got that perfect balance of rugged wilderness and vibrant city life. And honestly, what more could you ask for? Arizona is a state that knows how to do drama. And by drama, I mean the kind of landscapes that make your jaw drop. Of course, you've got the Grand Canyon, which, let's be real, could easily hold its own against any other natural wonder in the world. Standing at the edge of that vast chasm, with the Colorado River snaking its way through the canyon far below, you can't help but feel like you're witnessing something ancient and awe-inspiring. But Arizona's beauty isn't limited to just one canyon. Head over to Sedona and you'll find towering red rock formations that seem to glow in the soft light of sunrise or sunset. I remember taking a jeep tour through the desert here, bumping along dirt roads as our guide pointed out rock formations that looked like cathedrals, castles, and even the occasional animal. The landscape here is like nature's sculpture garden, and every turn reveals something new and unexpected. And let's not forget Antelope Canyon, one of the most photographed places in the world, and for good reason. Walking through this narrow slot canyon with beams of light filtering down from above and the walls curving around you in smooth, wave-like patterns, it's like being inside a living piece of art. Arizona's landscapes are bold, dramatic, and utterly unforgettable. And here we are, folks. Number 1. If you're looking for the most beautiful state in America, look no further than Wyoming. This state is the definition of raw, unspoiled beauty. We're talking towering mountain ranges, wide open plains, and some of the most iconic national parks in the world. First up, Yellowstone National Park. This place is like nature's playground, with geysers, hot springs, and wildlife at every turn. I still remember the first time I saw Old Faithful erupt. It's one of those bucket list moments you never forget. But the park is so much more than just its famous geyser. The Grand Prismatic Spring, with its vibrant rings of color, looks like something from another planet. And the Lamar Valley is one of the best places in the world to spot bison, wolves, and even the occasional grizzly bear. But Yellowstone isn't the only showstopper in Wyoming. Grand Teton National Park, with its jagged peaks and crystal-clear lakes, is the kind of place that makes you want to sit down, take a deep breath, and just soak it all in. I once spent a whole afternoon by Jenny Lake, watching the light change on the mountains as the sun set, and it felt like time had slowed down just for a little while. Wyoming is the kind of place that stays with you long after you've left. It's wild, it's rugged, and it's absolutely breathtaking. And that's why it takes the top spot on our list. And there you have it, the top 10 most beautiful states in America. I hope you enjoyed this virtual tour and found some inspiration for your next adventure. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more exciting content. We aim for 100 likes on this video, so your support really makes a difference. Share your favorite state in the comments below and join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.